Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome once again to the second year anniversary of my HR storybook. What is it all about, you might ask me? It's a place where we share stories, real life stories, to learn the principles of success. Research has shown that principles are universal. No matter what career path you're in, as long as you apply those principles, they would work for you. I would like to quickly play a video to really talk about the vision around what I do with my HR storybook. And on that note, please sit back and enjoy this video in a minute. Okay? Please confirm you can hear. How it all started. Hi there. I remember the early days of my career. I had a lot of questions. I experienced and navigated several crossroads at different points in my career life. I made several mistakes, and that's the honest truth. I failed, and I took some wrong decisions at some critical points in my career life. I wanted to be able to reach a mentor for guidance, but they were far away, not their fault. They were extremely busy, and when I met with them, I wished they could spend more time with me. Then I progressed in my career and watched young professionals go through same pains. My HR storybook was created to bring life and career success principles to professionals through these three concepts. First, storytelling for relatability and authenticity. Second, mentoring on the go for accessibility and self-leadership. Third, collaboration for impact, growth, and opportunity to give for professional advancement. The mission has evolved from storybook, I am so excited, into a live interactive series with several seasoned professionals across the world for more connection and to give opportunity for live pinpoint conversations. I know you've been enjoying the series so far. To get more, follow my social media handles, and if you're already following me, click on the link below for more exciting series. See you around. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and we'll go right into share the profile of our speaker today. Like you all listened to the video, it's really all around impact and how do we make impact in a collaborative way. It's by inviting special guest speakers to come and share their stories with us, their authentic stories, and it gives us an opportunity as well to ask them questions directly, to learn from their successes and of course, even from their failures, so we can leverage on that to define and design our own career journey. It's an honor today to have our speaker, our special guest speaker. I would like to address her special because she's a non-HR person. Even though the concept had really been around inviting HR professionals, but we've over the couple of months, invited other people because HR does not exist in isolation. HR, as HR professionals, we interact with the entire segments of our businesses, which includes, people in other departments. Based on that note, we thought it would be nice to also have other people outside of HR to come and share their stories with us for our learning. But today, being the second year anniversary of this beautiful concept that God laid in my heart 2 years ago, we have a phenomenal woman, someone that I love so much. I admire her, and she's very down to earth. She's someone who also has a vision, which she will speak to us about. Aurora, I mean, I'm a full lover of that vision. I'm wearing her brand, and there is a reason for this because I connect with the impact that that vision, offers to the world. I'll go ahead and read our profile very briefly, and then we'll invite her up the virtual stage. Kehinde Olomojobi, popularly known as KWO, is a seasoned financial Hi everyone, my sincere apologies. Please confirm you can hear me now. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Apologies, yes, my network went off and I had to quickly change.
I hear you now.
Okay, all right, thank you. Apologies once again. All right, so I was reading out the profile of our guest speaker. I will just summarize that very quickly because of our time. Yes, so KWO has held several positions as the bank treasurer, Sterling Bank of Nigeria, Heritage Bank of Nigeria, Enterprise Bank of Nigeria, and several others. She is an alumnus of the prestigious Gold Sack Training Institute. Furthermore, she's a member of the Lagos Business School Alumni Governing Council, a fellow of the Financial Markets Dealer Association, and she is an associate of the Chartered Institute of Bankers Nigeria, CIBN, and as well as the Chartered Institute of Bankers Scotland and Wales. Wow, this woman is loaded. You can all agree with me. Kehinde is the chairman of the board of directors of So Fresh Nigeria, Nigeria's #1 premium health food brand, in addition to her directorship of other firms. Her passion about seeing men and women take control of their finances and lives led her to the birthing of Aurora with KWO. That's the brand that I have on, and eventually Aurora Financial Literacy Hub. This same passion led her in also birthing their Aurora's Junior Club, which my children have been a part of, which is another learning platform developed to impact children with sound money and financial skills needed for the future, catching them young. Aurora, which means New Dawn, is a financial literacy platform designed to provide finance and career-related guidance, as well as mentoring for individuals from the organized financial private sector, business owners, budding and avid investors. The platform has hosted notable career, business, and thought leaders around wealth creation. KWO, as she's fondly called, is a graduate of economics and holds an MSc in finance from the University of Leicester and MBA from the University of Bangor, both in the UK. A highly sought after public speaker, KWO is an ordained minister, a wealth coach, teacher, treasury and investment expert, financial literacy enthusiast and advocate, serial entrepreneur and business owner. Wow, this woman is indeed loaded. Kehinde brings to bear a tremendous strategic insight and financial acumen in her current capacity as bank treasurer, head treasury and global markets at Greenwich Merchant Bank. She is happily married Olomojobi. We have something in common with him. Mr. Wale Olomojobi and my husband share the same birthday, and they are blessed with 3 beautiful children. Wow. KWO, are you still with us? It's such an honor to have you. And on that note, I'd like to invite you up and just tell us a bit around your career journey. Why the financial profession for you? I mean, did you all start with your interest for money, for numbers, or how did it all start for you with regards to your career? I would like to hear from you. Thank you, sis. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, my darling sis. It's good to see you in your yellow uniform. I know yellow is your favorite color. Sorry, I'm just getting off the train from Scotland. So I'm in the train station. I said I'll have to look for a quiet corner to meet up with them. You see, one of the things about leadership or having money is you being focused, being a talk-na-do. You don't make promises and you don't fulfill them. So that's why I have to find a way to link up with Lara this afternoon to be part of this exciting second year anniversary. And it's a pleasure being here. My name is Kendi Wale Olomojobi, fondly called KWO. I'm in the financial services space. Did I find myself there by accident? Maybe yes, because I studied sciences all through my secondary school, physics, chemistry, biology, added economics to it, added geography, added Bible, CRK to it. And when JAM was going to jammed me seriously. And then my parents said, you don't have to be like us scientists. You don't have to, just follow what you need to do. And I enrolled for economics. And one of the things I found very interesting about that subject was the mathematical part of it, econometrics. And then so I did 4 years of economics, and I finished in 1997 from Ondo State University. Then it was Ondo State University at It became United, it became EXU, off of names. But you know what? We're not where we're coming from. The greater part of our journey is where we are going. Let nothing limit you. Let no school, let no village, let no family name limit you. Keep your eye on the ball. One of the habits of highly effective leaders is being able to keep their eyes on the ball. And I used to tell my twin sister then, when we used to do a roku, on Adrekiti campus, and I would say, I don't want banking any man. I don't want banking any. So when we finished in November 1997, I was posted to Abia State. And then my parents gave me a note to go and meet the NYSC director for that particular state, Inisia Langwa. One of the things they told was that they eat people there. Not that I was afraid. I wasn't afraid I was going to be eaten, but I needed to be back home for health reasons for my dad and just be at home with him to take care of him. He had a mild stroke at that point in time. So I went to the director of NYSC, gave her the notes. I also was a prof in UI, so connection. And then I was on the personal parade. I was on the night bus back to Mazamaza in Lagos. And I found myself back in Lagos on the same day we left the parade ground, and I dropped in Mazamaza at 6 a.m. And I remember when I touched my feet on the floor of that bus, I told myself, Lagos, here I come. You see, most of these things were subconscious then, but now I can remember in retrospect. So I told myself, I'm going home and I'm going to make it in this Lagos. I went back to Lasso, and by the following Monday, I was back in Akerele, Babzanima Shaun in Surulere, asking for a deployment letter to anywhere in Lagos. The first place I was posted to was a bank. I remember very well, the 3 banks I was posted to on that major marina. Think of the 3 big banks. And I got a no. No. And I was like, Kilo day, it's having me before. But I remember then I had so much pimples. And I'm telling you my story because I would eat guguru and nekpa from Obalende with my khaki and my t-shirt, my NY t-shirt, and walk all the way from Obalende to Central Marina. And I would go up and down that major marina road, going to those banks, say, come back tomorrow. After I said, okay, let's move into VI. So I got another letter and I said, just post me to this bank. That bank, it's no longer existing. Now we have Grand Square Bakery, where that bank used to be. It used to be Pick Merchant Bank. And I got in there and the MD said he wasn't going to take a woman. I said, okay. Went back to Baftanima Shaun and then got another posting to Hillcrest Merchant Bank. The Hillcrest Merchant Bank eventually became a global bank, joined Intercontinental, joined Equity, Gateway, and then became Intercontinental Bank. That Access Bank now bought them over eventually. Anyway, I did the test. 2 of us passed out of 8, myself and Tayo. Very brilliant young guy. He was posted to FinCon immediately, and I was rejected again. I went back home. I told my dad, maybe I should go and do a master's or go and do something else. And he said, no, don't worry. Yeah, you're very intelligent. Don't lose hope in yourself. Don't worry. And stayed at home for like 2 weeks. And then one day, a dispatch man came. Immediately I saw his uniform, I saw the name of the bank. I said, maybe God has smiled on me. And then he gave me a letter for me to resume the following day. And that was how I started my banking career. Myself and Tayo, immediately we finished. One thing again, when you're given an opportunity, you to the best of your ability, I will go for CD. I think it was called Community Development then, at City Hall. After my CD, I will come back to work, change my uniform. Don't call me Afamako. I will change my uniform, wear my office wear, and continue my job. There were 6 of us. I was in the second tier. We had 4 people in the first tier. Nobody was retained apart from KWO. Beyond being retained, I was given access to start eating free lunch. Free lunch was for AM and above. I was given that access to be eating free lunch. And then my banking career started. And I put in my best foot. I was put in marketing for 1 month. And then one day, there was an opportunity in currency trading. And imagine the bank looking around, looking for the most diligent staff, trustworthy, and it was KWO. And I remember Mr. Yemi, he was our GM, and he said, Kende, and I'll say it in Yoruba because that's what he told me in 1998. He said, Odo Tomamu Konishon Kojae. He said, go into that department, put your best foot forward, show integrity, don't steal money, don't cut deals. You will get to where you're going. He's retired now. I wish I could still see him and give him a big hug because those words that he told me so many years ago have held me. And that's why I've been in Treasury for the past 25 years. It was 25 years this August that I joined the Treasury in the financial services space. And I've never left that space. And it speaks a lot because it's a place that you can come in and go out or enter into issues. But I've been there. God has helped me to the glory of his holy name. I think, again, just going through that career, I found out that for me to actually make a headway, I need to be a step ahead. So for every position I coveted, for every job I tried to get, I would go and read up for it, look at the qualifications, and then find myself applying. Let me also tell you, all the people I've worked for, they've always called me to come and work with them. And today, 3 of them are bank MDs. When I was joining this job I'm doing now, because of the level, it required that 3 bank MDs, the CBN required that 3 bank MDs must write you a reference. I got my references on the platter of gold because all my bosses are now bank MDs. So I went to them, Madam, Oga, and I got those references. So when you're working with people in your career, put your best. Let them miss you when you're not around. I'm on vacation right now. I've already been getting mails. When are you coming back? Not because you're the best in the office, but because you're always positioned to make a difference. So in your career, try to make a difference in your place of work. Try to add value. So every job from one bank to the other, I've worked in 8 different banks, and there's always been one boss saying, Kende, come and work with me. Kende, come and work with me. I enjoyed working with you all this while. And that has been my journey, and it's been a phenomenal journey. I appreciate God for everything he has done. I thank God for people that God has brought my way. I thank God for opening my eyes like the sons of Issachar to understand the times and know the wisdom required for each season of my life. And Lara, let me stop there. If you have other questions, I'm still here. My name is KWO. I'm done talking for now. Thank you.
Wow. That was absolutely loaded. Thank you so much, KWO, for being very open and authentic. I mean, even listening to you, I could feel the authenticity in your voice. I mean, it felt like, oh, this is all of me, guys. Just hear it. Just hear it. Thank you so much. Very inspiring. Those principles that you have called out, I might not be able to recap everything because of our time, right? You talked about tenacity, focus. I mean, you started first from the principle of 7 highly effective people, which for me speaks to the fact that you're a lover of books, right? You are a lover of books. You're someone who encourages the need for us to learn and to read. You talked about diligence, talked about being trustworthy. You talked about mentorship. The words that someone said to you, you held on to it, which also means for me that our words can build people. So are we ensuring that we're saying the right word that empowers and builds people? You also talked about, the fact that when you're not at work, you are being missed because you bring value on the table. Thank you so much. That was really, really loaded. At this point, I'd like our listeners, if you have any questions for KWO, please feel free to go into the chat box, or you can use the raise hand button and then ask your question. Now, loads and loads and loads of comments here in the chat box. Thank you so much. Esther, LUML, you wrote, Guguru Atiek, but that combo is out of this world. I mean, listening to you also, we have found, yeah. Also, we have found that for every glory that we see, guys, there is a story. And I'm happy to let you know that forums like this, my HR Story Live Series, gives people the opportunity to hear the story behind the glory that we all see today. Thank you so much. KWO, you did mention that Tony has captured that rightly, for us to put our best foot forward always, right? Diligence, being trustworthy, don't cut corners, don't do fraud. I mean, your principles are the things that will guide and shape your life. Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, all right, yes, Harry says, every glory has a story indeed. Thank you so much. We have Dr. Benedicta in the house, amazing people in the house. Thank you so much to everyone who just joined. I have some of my colleagues, my friends, Mr. Demola Dioye, thank you for joining. Vincent, Vivian, thank you so much, everyone. I might not be able to call out your names. KWO, while listening to you, all right, I also wanted to ask you, so at what point did you realize that, especially when you were getting no's, for some of us, especially for some young people, once they encounter an obstacle, a no, they become destabilized. Someone came to my house today for a mentoring session, and it was just all around, oh, I've been rejected here, I've been rejected there, I've been rejected, and the focus has really been on rejection. So I'd like you to please share with us, have you been able to, stay true and committed to your vision, to your dreams, despite the obstacles and the no's that you've encountered in life?
Okay, Lara, thank you very much for that beautiful question. I think my Christian values have added a lot. And one of the things I learned as a young person was that I was born for a purpose. I was not an accident of nature. It wasn't just my mom and my dad coming together. And we learned that in Sunday school, and what was the story that we were told? It was the story of Jesus. His name shall, it was the description, Jesus had a job description before he was conceived. His name shall be called blah, blah, blah. He will deliver his people. So that was instilled in me, that you are a twin, yes, you are from a family of 8 children, but you are here for a purpose. My mom will tell us then that which means that there's a reason. So even if people tell me no, what keeps me going is the fact that I know I'm here for a purpose. Maybe you're not seeing me yet. And when you see me, you like me. Again, not everybody in life will say yes to you. Not everybody in life will say, because they're not destined to be the ones to say yes to you. So we need to get that straight. You're not the best thing after sliced bread. Also know that. So there are other people that will be better than you. So learn to accept that. You're not the best at every point in time. Where your own seems to feel another person is starting their own. So I understood those things very, very early in life. When in disappointing moments, yes, I cried. Even as early as 3-4 years ago, I was still crying. of certain no's and rejections. But you know what will always keep me going? I have a purpose. And that's why the place of affirmations comes in. So you look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I tell myself every day, my name is KWO, money looks good on me. Secondly, I have solutions for kings and nations. The world needs me. I am here to make a difference. That is enough to ginger my swagger every day. So you must also affirm yourself, because you know why? Nobody on earth will lift you up above themselves willingly. So don't wait for somebody to affirm you. Affirm yourself. So even in the midst of rejection, you still dress up, you put on your makeup, and then go rate them. You move on. So
Yes,
that courage just has to be there. And those are intangible values that young people must seek after, not tangibles like car, like clothes. The intangibles that nobody can touch. I put up a LinkedIn post on May 1st, Workers' Day. And I said, as a worker, develop those values that nobody can take, even if the job leaves. It is those values that will help you get another job or build a business. What are those values? Integrity, focus, dedication, honesty, hard work. Those are intangible values that will keep you going even in the face of rejection. So I always told myself, I have intellect. So if you say I'm not good enough for your job, no problem. There will be a job that I'm good enough for and they will take me. So you must first of all, finally go back to the manufacturer. You know what? We are all created beings. And there is a manufacturer who has a manual. The manual is the Bible for me. For every other person, depending on your faith, there is the manual. So go back to the manufacturer, through the manual, and ask him for your purpose. That is enough to keep you going at every point in time. Let me stop here, Lara.
Awesome, powerful, wow, powerful. Thank you so much, KWO. You talked about the need for us to be clear on our identity, and that comes from our purpose and also from our true source. That is what will keep us going during stormy period, during trial period, during periods where everything might seem dark for us. It's knowing and staying connected to your source, being clear what your purpose is, affirm it, right? A lot of people are looking for external affirmation, but it starts really from individuals, from us first. Thank you so much. You quite talked about intangible values. That is one of the things that will keep us going through those dark moments. Awesome. Thank you so much, sis. I have another question for you here. When I shared the post on the topic, which is career and financial success, a couple of people came with questions to me, and they were asking, can I be an employee and be financially successful? There is a belief that for you to be successful, you have to be an entrepreneur. And not everybody can be an entrepreneur. That's another school of thought. So can I be an employee and be financially successful? I'd like to hear your views on that.
Now you've answered the question. Not everybody will be an entrepreneur. I know employees who are doing very well, who are living the life, are balling and just getting fulfilled with what they're doing. What's important is, what is enough for Lara may not be enough for me. You understand what I mean? I may need 10, Lara might need 2 million. So it's for you to know what is enough for you and find a way to meet up with your expenses and what your enough is. Some people say, I can't continue to be in paid employment because what I'm getting here, I think I can get more. I can start a business. And let me also tell you, we're all businessmen. We've all invested in one shares of one company or the other. We're all entrepreneurs. People are working for us. And that's why we're receiving dividends. You understand what I mean? So it might not be starting a brick and mortar business that will give you fulfillment. It will just be you being an employee and rising to the top of the ranks. Let me give you a secret. At a point in time when people were building houses in Banana Island, Lekki Phase 1, Oniwu, buying beautiful houses, I used to look at myself. I spoke to my mentor, and she said, she's a bank MD today, and she said, you will get to a point in your career, all your bills will be paid for. You'll give you a generator, you'll pay for the diesel, pay for the driver, give you cook allowance, give you security allowance, give you Wi-Fi, buy phone for you. Now those things are possible and they happened. So, and it was saying this paid employment, you understand? So, not everybody, my own is for every level you want to achieve, seek for the requirements and strive with those requirements. Don't just daydream. Don't daydream. And that's where the place of career and finance come together. You see, Lara, if you really want to make it to your career, you need to level up. And when I mean level up, it means you need to aspire. And not aspire to perspire or aspire to fake, or aspire to require to how do I put it? You must be able to get there. So you're sitting down, for example, look at Lara, beautiful lady. I know she's a big madam in her own right, you know. I'm sure Lara is looking at the next step. She's taking some courses. She's reading every day. She's looking at the requirement for that next step. If possible, she might even be aspiring to be the MD of her company or a related company. There are requirements. And the more you add value, the more money you will get. Let me repeat myself. The more value you have to give the organization, the greater your earning capacity. People don't tie those things together. And they believe in love. They believe in office politics. They believe in so many things. Let me tell you, even if you are the worst person in your office and the office knows you have value, the best they can do is to send you on training to further fine-tune your bad behavior. But because you're adding to the bottom line, every entrepreneur will retain you. They will keep you. They can help you with your people skills. They can help you with your leadership skills. That is where HR, I call you people HR. Sorry again, that's what I call you people, HR. HR will call you and help you hone those skills required to sustain your job. But in terms of you having value, Lara, get value. The more value you have, the more attractive you are to entrepreneurs or to employers, and the more they will pay you. You will come to a time where you can sit down and dictate your salary. It is true. It can happen. You can tell them, I'm not coming to work for you guys. If I'm coming, this is my salary. I want to work 4 times a week. I want to have 30 days vacation, not 21. You can dictate those terms for them. I want to build my own team. I want to bring 5 people into my team. It is because of value. And when you have value, you can dictate and attract more cash. Thank you, Lara.
Awesome. Wow, that is deep. Wow. I remember reading Pastor Sam Adeyemi's book a couple of years back, Success is Who You Are. And he wrote in that book, you want to earn more, bring more value on the table in your organization. I'm like, okay, but I have a job description and I'm doing my job. So, and yet I want to aspire for the next level. I mean, you've just been able to help clarify. There's really not around, daydreaming where you want to be, but know the requirement for that next level that you aspire and then go for it. Thank you so much. Wow. When you bring more value, then you earn more. We have a question here from Vivian. It reads, what do you do when it seems like your career path is slow and the feeling like where you are, you should have been more? What do such person do in that instance?
Okay, let me quickly clarify. Many of us do our jobs, our career. Line. Your job is not a career.
Tell them. Loudest. Loudest.
Many of us evolve from our jobs into our career. Maybe like KWO. But for many people, our jobs are not our career. We have a different calling. Let me whisper something to you. I have a calling to be a baker. And I'm still going to open a baker. I think that yes. So you see, when you're tired of something, ask yourself, is there? Or am I doing this because I want to earn a pay? The first level of developing your career is getting a job, a job. And job means just over broke. The job just pays you a salary to take you over from being broke. That's a job. A career is a sustainable path of life that attracts wealth, social impact, social capital, and invariably gives you self-fulfillment. It is sustainable. Look at the word sustainable, not just a job. A job pays your bills. So I'm going to ask Vivian, the person that asked the question, pen and paper when you get home, or even if you're at home after this session, write out the things you enjoy about this job. Also ask yourself, why am I here? Is it because of the pay? Because at a point in time, I had to step back for 3 years away from my career. I have to ask myself, am I really enjoying what I'm doing? Is this where I'm supposed to be? You understand? And I came back after 3 years with more energy, with more value to add. Because my husband thought, okay, because you like me, you know, so you need to dimension your job from your career. Your job, career, if it's a career, then you will get inspiration for it, you will get grace for it, and above all, you will get everything you need to succeed in it. So is it a job or a career?
Wow, thank you so much. And for me, that's the coaching hat that you wore there, in terms of helping Vivian to find our own answers, and that's what coaching is all about. Thank you, sis. For us, I mean, you are our financial coach, and it's really amazing how you're able to quickly bring that to bear. A couple of times I'm wondering, oh wow, that is quite deep. Thank you so much. So Vivian, you've heard the response from KWO. You need to go and find your own answers. Thank you so much for that. We have another question here. From, I think it's from Vivian again. What are the ways you get this value that you speak about? I mean, you talked a lot around value to be able to increase your earning potential. So what are the ways to get this value that you spoke about?
Okay, part of the ways, okay, I'm going to talk about myself. One of the ways I got some of my values had to do with my family background. Every family has a code of conduct. There are some things I cannot do as an Olarinmoye, which is my maiden name, and there are some things I cannot do as an Olomojobi, which is my marital name. Because those families have codes of conduct that have been passed down from one generation to the other. So when you call yourself an Olomojobi, there are some things that are required of you. That's one. So by virtue of your family background. The second one is about observation and mentorship. So by virtue of mentors that you have subjected yourself to, let me quickly clarify the issue of mentor. If you have a mentor who's not a talk now, do run away. If you have a mentor who will not be there for you, and I'm not saying be there for you 24/7, but will be there for you to guide you, don't depend on that too much. The third one that helped me in mentorship is that there is no one size fits all mentor for you. So for example, I have close to 7 mentors. I have a mentor for family life. I have a mentor for my finances. I have a mentor for my spiritual work. I have a mentor for friends, for relationships. So different mentors at each point in time. And there are times when the mentor will stop being your mentor because it's either grown and you are able to now mentor other people and that person can move on. Again, you don't have to see your mentor 24/7. That is it. So let me also leave that one. So the other one is observation and mentorship. So you see people that are doing well. Let me quickly tell you, one of my mentors is Mrs. Funke Oshibodu. She used to be the former MD of EcoBank, former MD of Union Bank. In terms of her dressing, straight to the point. In terms of her hairdo, straight to the point. In terms of her long chin, straight to the point. Now let's come to work ethics. She's a boss. When she's in the boardroom, she's talking to the divisional heads. You will see the way she's marshalling her point from the point of knowledge. So I used to envy her. So observation, I was able to learn. You cannot lie to her. So she's a stickler for integrity, truthfulness, hard work. She'll be there, let everybody close from the office. She's there, she's the last to leave the office. So by observation and mentorship, you can get some of these values, and then your family background. And then the last one will be your spiritual inclination. That would also help you. So I think that should help. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, there's a comment from Esther in response that our real mentors are scarce to come by. And for me, I think that's one of the vision around my HR Storybook and my HR Live Series, because when it comes to mentoring, it gives us an opportunity to gain access to some of those mentors like KWO here today, so we can ask them questions and learn from their wealth of experience. So KW, you're someone whose mentoring has really helped shape and accelerate your career. In today's world, and you equally mentioned some of the attributes of mentors when people are looking for mentors, and some of the mindset around mentoring, you don't really have to see your mentors every day. In the world that we are in, where there's a whole lot out there on social media, right? So how can people identify authentic mentors?
The simple word is Toknadu.
Toknadu, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes. Authenticity comes from you observing that this person has said this and the person is able to say it. Let me use I'm a mentor to the glory of God. And I always tell people they must develop multiple streams of income. And I followed the path of Lara and I wrote a book.
Yay!
So now between myself and Lara, we're in the ilk of them, Olarotimi, the Wale Soyinka, the Chinua Achebes, because we've written books. It means that generations to come will continue to receive royalty on those books. Lara, you and I, and every other author here, those books will live beyond us by the grace of God, and other books are going to write. So that is what you should see a mentor doing. The person is saying, do this, guys. The person doing it. The person is saying save. The person saving and showing you really evidences of what they've asked you to do. So identifying so many people on social media, so many people, just follow them close. I mentioned the name of one of my mentors. I read up about her regularly in the papers. I just Google her name, what she up to. At a point in time, she herself and her husband were the ones running Benin Electricity Development Company, and that's the decentralized NEPA, whatever. So they were the ones operating the Benin, whatever. So I was following up with her and checking her up. And one day, coming in from Benin, I went for a seminar, and she was in the business class. I was in economy, and then we came down and we had the conveyor belt trying to pick up our luggages. And she looked back, I'd not seen her since she left EcoBank in 2007. And I gave her a big hug. I said, let me carry your bag. No, you're a big madam now. Yeah, and I put it to my husband behind me. And then she left. I've not seen her since that day again. But am I following up with her? Am I watching what she's doing? Yes, I am. And your mentor does not even have to know that she or she's your mentor. But when you have an opportunity to celebrate them, either on your social media pages, either at a function, walk up to them and just tell them, you've impacted my life. It's a pleasure and an honor knowing you. Thank you, Lara.
Wow. Thank you, Faith. Thank you so much. Wow. We have about 10 minutes more left. I hope we can take one or two additional questions. I have a question here from Matthew. It reads, have you ever been influenced against your value by your boss? And how did you handle it? I think that's a very deep question.
I have. There was a job I had for 14 months, a beautiful job. And I had to walk away. We had to have a very nice conversation, and I walked away from it because there is no way, and I used to tell my twin sister then, walking through the revolving doors of that bank every day, I never had peace. And I'll call my twin sister TDA. You like to be, man. I don't like the things they're doing here, And eventually, I remember my husband saying, don't resign in a hurry, let them pay you off. It's not anything wrong. Don't resign in a hurry. It's just a function of values not aligning. So take your time. But I never had peace. The things we were asked to do, the things that were going on, the office politics, the inner sourcing between the seniors and the juniors, it was just too bad. And I said, why am I here? It's a different feel from every other place I've worked. What do I need to do? First, I went prayerfully before God, and I took my time. And when the time was right, we had that beautiful conversation, and I walked away. Again, don't burn bridges. Because no two people in life are the same. That's your own value. It may not be the same value that person carries. It doesn't mean that person's values are less to your own values. So don't judge others. Buy your own standard for your own value because you've not walked in their shoes. And you're not called for the same purpose in life. So focus on your focus. Let me do one word that one lady in the outside of Lagos. Focus on your crayon. Do your day and write out your own purpose. And then when you're taking that walk, don't burn bridges, because you know why? My mom tells me, it means that the rain can beat you twice and you are forced to take refuge in the same accommodation or in the same place. So when the rain is falling and you say, my mama, let me stay under your shop. And the rain stops and just take a walk without saying, thank you so much, ma. I was able to get children from this rain. And you go away. The day you come to the market again and it rains, don't go to that mama's shop. And you may end up having to take refuge in that same place. So don't spoil that place. Don't burn bridges. Just let it be mutually that we don't align, but I still love you as an individual. And there are still things you could do together. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you. Just walk away. Thank you. YF just re-echoed your last comment in the chat box. Don't burn that bridge. Just walk away. Jelly. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have a question here from someone. It reads, for someone who is not earning a lot, what kind of financial plan can an average salary earner adopt?
Okay, I'll just quickly give just the basics of savings. When people say they're not earning enough, the first thing you need to do, are you really not earning enough? Or is it that your wants outweigh your needs? So pick a pen and paper this evening and write out your wants and write out your needs. Your needs are those things you cannot do without. So food, shelter, clothing, basic clothing, food, shelter, clothing, transportation. You see, at a point in time in life, cable subscription.
KW, can't hear you again. Hello. Okay, you're sounding very faint. You're not audible. I guess it's the network. Can't hear you. KW. Hello. Still very faint.
Can you hear me?
Oh yes, fantastic. You're audible now. Please go
So
ahead.
I said at a point in time, your cable subscription may be a want and not a need. And I was sharing it on Clubhouse and I said, the premium bouquet at a point in time became a want for me. One, my husband is not a football buff. He doesn't watch Premier League. Secondly, I don't watch CNN. I subscribe to all these things online so I can get online real-time news. Then thirdly, I end up watching only BBC Food for 1 month and I'm paying that huge subscription. The children are not at home. They're all in boarding house. What am I doing with premium DSTV bouquet for? I downgrade to the basics. And if you come, and then I ask myself again, how many people come to my house, Lara? Maybe when I invite my inner circle sisters to my house. So who am I posing for with premium bouquet? Are they paying my bills? So you need to sit down and tell yourself the truth. There are some things we don't need. They're just wants. So when you say you're not earning enough, sit down and dimension your needs from your wants and then get a budget. If you go on the Lara with KWO page on Instagram, there's a free budget template there. And that's my gift this evening. Download the free budget template on that page and put together a budget. Let me quickly share with you finally my secrets. When I earn, I save before I spend. So earn, save, spend. Start with a 2.5% of your salary. Save it. Grow to a 5. Grow to a 7.5. Go to a 10. Go to a 20. Before you know it, when you look back, you've saved money. Let me stop there.
Wow, fantastic. Great insights there from UKWO. So if you think you're not earning enough, it starts with first evaluating your wants and your needs, and then ensuring that you come up with ways to dimension your wants and your needs and look at where you can save from. So that takes me to one additional question to write on that, which is the side hustling gig. What is your view around expanding your multiple streams of income? I know you did mention earlier, but a lot of people, their excuse is usually around, I don't have time. My work is demanding. I'm a mom, I'm an employee, I'm working, endlessly for my employer, especially now that I even get to work from home. There's just so much demand and pressure. How do you recommend that people make out time if they need to increase their source of income? And what are the various options? What are the various ways that they can equally increase their sources of income?
Hey, thank you very much, Lara. One thing the 57 of us have in common on this platform is 24 hours that God has given everybody equally. And so when you say an employee, you get to work, say 8 o'clock, you're there till 6. From 6 till 5 a.m. the following day is your own time. Let's say you get home at 10. I'm just assuming you get home at 10. From 10 to 5 a.m. the following day, or till 7:55 a.m., it's your own time. Rich people don't sleep. Their dreams are so audacious, it keeps them awake, it keeps them networking, it keeps them writing, it keeps them planning. So you must always think of what you can do extra, because really, you're an employee, you stay at 24 hours, you need to stretch time. And
KW, are you still there? KW, we can't hear you. Hello. Hello, KW, we can't hear you. She's still on the call. Yeah, she's still on the call. KW. Okay, KW, please, can you check your network? We can't hear you. Or, okay, so whilst we're waiting for KW, I think we can't hear her. Maybe she's trying to change her network or trying to reconnect. Wow, has it been? I like us to put in our comments in the chat box. How has it been listening to KWU in the last like about 55 minutes or about? How's it been? How has it been? Awesome. Thank you, IJ Adobo. Awesome so far. Thank you, Amos. Thank you, Amos, for your feedback. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal from Esther. Wow, thank you so much.
Lara.
Okay, yes, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you before, but I can hear you now. KW, can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're mute though.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you summarize your last responses?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you summarize the last response?
Can you hear me now, Lara?
Yes.
I can hear you now.
Okay, please summarize the last response. We lost it before you finished your last response. Can you summarize it? Okay, now we can't hear you again if you're still talking.
Yeah, I'm done talking actually.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you summarize your last response, please?
Okay, so I said for your side hustle,
yeah,
there's a place of ethics. So if it encroaches into your employer's time, it's not your side hustle, you're stealing time. So your side hustle must be such that it doesn't encroach into your employer's time. And so when it gets to a particular level where you cannot begin to create a demarcation, leave that paid employment and focus on your side hustle. Never steal your employer's time. That business won't succeed. It may look as if it's succeeding, but after a while, others will do it to you. Because what goes around comes around. Your so-called employees steal your time to do their own stuff, and it won't end well. Eventually, also, when you are doing your side hustle and your normal job, you may become fagged out. You may experience burnout. So choose one. But everybody needs to have a side hustle that you can do over the weekend, after work hours, during your vacation, to bring some additional income. Thank you.
Awesome, fantastic. Thank you so much, KW, for your responses so far. We've had an amazing time listening to you today. Thank you. Never steal your employer's time. There's a quick question from Vivian on the budget template that you had talked about earlier, on how can they get the template. I think it would also be nice to also share a bit around Aurora and how people can connect for those who want to join the Aurora platforms. Okay, so the budget template is on the Aurora with KWO Instagram page. Click the link on the bio, and then you can get the budget template. Also, the link on the bio will give you a short video about what we're all about on the Aurora with KWO platform. It's a financial literacy platform, just teaching people basic principles about mindsets regarding money. And I'm sure you have a lot of information on the link on the bio on the Instagram page. Thank you. Awesome, fantastic. We already have a lot of our Auroras in the house. The link has been posted on the platform for you. Please feel free to go on Aurora with KWO for this amazing.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you so much. Thank you. One additional goodies for everyone is the fact that with regards to the 2-year anniversary, my HR storybook as well, we're giving out my book at a discount. So instead of the regular 2.5, everybody gets to get a copy of that book for 2,000 naira from now till end of September. So you can also go on Instagram, Lara Impact, for a copy. I also have the details of where you can order the book for on my page. Thank you so much, everyone. It's really been a great time listening to you.
I don't want to go again, no, Lara. Let's continue.
I should continue. I have questions, Seth, that I've been managing people here. I mean, that's the beauty of sharing your story. I'm sure even as you're reflecting as well, you're speaking from a place of gratitude, yes, and humility,
Yes.
So like why I always say, by the time you think and connect the dots, it makes sense. And at the point where it's making sense, at the point where we are now learning that, oh, really? Wow, thank you so much. I mean, still talking about financial success, especially now that we're in a digital age, right? We have a lot of young people who might have to take a decision at some point in their career. Do I go for the money or do I go for the job? My own experience, initially I went for the job. I remember my first job, it was a 40K job then. I was living at UG Shaga and it was at Lekki. But I remember my mentor told me, don't go for the money, go for the experience first. Right. And that really gave me a very strong foundation because I wasn't focused on the money. Now we are at the age where young people go for the money first. And I remember a particular story, KWO, that you told me of an intern who came to your office and requested to earn, her salary expectation was 150 or so. And you asked her, what do you want to use the money for? And she mentioned her hair, her nails, and this.
Yes.
So I mean, we get all of those out there now. So, at what point do they go for the money? And at what point do they even go for a career in code? So we'd like to hear your experience in that area.
Okay. Let me share with you. There's no harm in going for the money first. And I'm going to use, as an economist, I'm going to use the Maslow's theory of wants.
Yeah.
You see, at the basic level is survival. So the fresh graduates, the 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years experienced person will still be looking at accommodation, transportation, clothing, the basic necessities of man. You see, you and I, Benedicta is here, YF is here, Shola Igwade is here. It's more aspirational. So those things are normal. Those people at those first 5-7 years of employment need our coaching and our training to tell them, yes, put your leg through the door, looking for the money. But as time goes on, seek for your career, seek for your purpose. So don't get lost in the job market. You understand? So it's normal. They're first coming for the job, but they must manage their expectations so that they don't miss out. If you're looking for a job that will take care of your Brazilian here, whatever, you don't know what that employer already has in plan for you. But the way you put it forward, you've already shut that door in your own face. So it's normal for human beings to seek for those basic necessities at the first 5 to 7 years of their work experience. But as time goes on, you and I should now coach them, reorientate them to focus on aspirational things, impactful things. And that's how the Maslow's theory of wants happens. And you see them at the critical mass at the bottom of the pyramid. Our whole idea in our career, not job now, is to leave the critical mass and move up to become the 1% of the 1%. If you have watched Lagos and Blink Lagosians, you understand what I mean. The 1% of the 1%, that's where I'm going. Who is joining me?
Yes, sir. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, it's been a phenomenal period listen to you here, sis. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, my video is on now. I didn't want to distract
yes.
people.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I know. Okay, people wanted to see you. Yes, look at her. That's the phenomenal woman we have on today. KWO. Wow. KWO, please tell us about your book. What inspired your book? I have a copy. It's really lovely. So share with us what inspired your book.
Okay, so Memoirs of a Moneymaker are just journal entries I put together during the lockdown period. The lockdown period, many people say, was a hard time for them. It was a time for me to discover purpose. And during that time, I had a lot of engagements, speaking engagements, both on my oral platform to give back to society, and also invitations here and there. So the Memoirs of a Moneymaker are actually my journals during that period, and also principles of money that have worked for me. One of the things I didn't put in that book is conversation with a millionaire. It was a conversation I sat down with Jimmy Tewe for 1 hour, and I spoke about my life story. But I told myself, that's another book on its own. I won't add it to this one. It's another book on its own. So it was just for me to just compile everything I've shared at different fora, and then principles that have worked for me, and just put it out there using the manual. If you see, the book is inclined towards the Bible, because God is the giver of wealth. Without him, we are nothing. He's the owner of the cattle upon the 1,000 hills, and he is my source. I acknowledge him today as my source now and forever. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. What I hear you say is, during the process, during the journey of life, never discount any phase of your life. Even though it was a lockdown for the entire world, you had turned the things you did during those periods into something meaningful to gift the world. I think I also share that because when I wrote my HR storybook as well, it was when I was laid off. And I was very redundant from, the company that I had worked for 11 years. And I was home. Initially it was a shock, but I had to put myself together and turn my situation around. And it was at that period that I put together the HR storybook, which is really doing phenomenal today. So
He's asking me a question there.
Okay, we get on Jackpot. Thank you. Oh, Temi, God bless you. Thank you. Answer that question. Is Jackpot part of your plan?
One thing I've learned about life is access. Have access to anywhere you want to go to. You understand? And still live life. So I don't have to be here. So Jackpot is not part of my plans. The Bible tells me that the Lord I serve owns everywhere. You understand? So who am I? It's for me to step in, step out, step in, step out, and just live life. So Temi, don't worry, calm down, be calming down.
We still have our KWO life in Nigeria so that we can always hug her. Thank you, Temi, for that fantastic question. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, KW. Because of our time is Sunday, people have to get to other things. We have one more question, please, from Esther. I think you never want rejection.
Never know what.
You never know
what rejection.
Yeah, and downtimes can bring your way, especially when you're not stuck in the moment. Thanks, Lara and KW. Okay, that was a comment. Thank you, Esther, for reinforcing that. As we come to the end of the show, would like one person from the participants to unmute now and give the vote of thanks on behalf of all our listeners. So can we have anyone unmute now and just, express yourself to appreciate our special guest speaker, KW, at our second year special
Good evening.
edition. Good evening. Okay.
My name is Vivian.
Oh, Vivian. Okay,
Yes.
the Vivian that was asking great questions. Can we
Yes,
see your
please.
face? Can we see?
Okay, yes.
Your camera ready? It will be lovely to see your face.
No, it's a weekend, so even if the face is anyhow, it's fine. Okay,
We
can you see
accept
it?
Yay, yes, yes, yes. I love your AG, by the way. Love it.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you. Okay,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
good evening. My name is Vivian. I want to say a very big thank you. First of all, I want to appreciate your time on behalf of Lara, giving this opportunity to give this vote of thanks. We want to say that it's been an awesome pleasure having you. You have given us insight into different things we didn't even think we were going to learn. I mean, it was supposed to be just career and finance. And at the end of the day, we found out, I found out that I had actually learned more about life, inspiration, spirituality, and everything is part of being you as a person. You cannot be different from your work and different in your home. You're still the same woman. So it is best you have the same carriage wherever you go. Thank you for your words of advice, for the words of excellence, and letting us know that integrity speaks very highly. I mean, it takes us beyond where we can imagine. On behalf of Lara and every other person here, thank you so much. Your time was well enjoyed, and we do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Lara, for this opportunity.
Wow.
Thank you, Vivian.
Vivian, that was simply phenomenal. Thank you so much. You articulately captured how the entire 1 hour plus had been with KWO. That was very articulate, eloquent, and well put together. Amazing. Thank you so much. And I would like to say that the Aurora platform, we're looking forward to having you join Aurora, right? So we're looking forward to that. You can please reach out to the IG link and make your contacts. Thank you so much. KW, how did I get a copy of your book, please? Is this through the IG link as well?
Yeah, the link on the bio on the IG page.
Okay, all right. So to get a copy of the book, please feel free to reach out to the details via the IG link. And of course, for my own book as well, please call the WhatsApp number or send a WhatsApp chat. Someone will take your delivery. We deliver to anywhere in the world. We have copies of the book around the world. We have the soft copy as well. For the recording equally will be shared with everyone who was part of today's.
That your job is not your career. But again, in the course of your job, you discover what your career is actually is. So thank you for that. Then Lara, for your book, I want to sponsor 5 persons. Any 5 persons that need the book, I'll pay for them. Then for KWO, your book, how much does it go for again?
It's actually $4,000 per copy, but I'm going to do the same rebates, the same price for Lara's book.
Okay, good. So for 5 persons as well, I'll pay for them. So all you need to do, Lara, is let me know, then I'll send the money to you and reach out to 5 different people for the different books.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very quickly, for people who want the book, please put in the chat box. If you're interested in the book, I will pick we'll pick the top 5 or the first 5 people who indicate their interest in the book. I think they're already going on. Damn, Larry, are you on the call? Mary, please help us to coordinate that. Okay, because of our time, please reach out to myself. All right, because of our time, I'm looking at how I can quickly coordinate that in 2-3 minutes so that for the book, yes, the first person who indicated interest, number 1, Esther. Hello, Esther, please drop your phone number in the chat, then we'll pick it up from there. Sheyi, I don't have your surname here. Please drop your phone number as well. So that's 2 for Sheyi. Okene Kristen, you'll be number 3 for a copy of my book and KWO's book. Okene Kristen, please drop your number. And number 4 will be Greatness, Olorun Femi, number 4. And Moji Salah will be number 5. So those will be the 5 people who will get copies of my book and KWO's book. I hope I got that correctly. Yeah, so number one who indicated interest, Esther Elueme. Number 2, Sheyi, please drop your phone number. Number 3, Okene Kristen. Number 4, Greatness. And number 5, Mojisola Matomi. Thank you so much, everyone. Those will be the 5 people who got the copies of the 2 books today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tayo, for that.
Hello. I'd like to gift two copies of KWO's books. My name is Funke Election Lawyer. I'll gift at the price. I'll give 2 books.
Sis, big sis. Thank you, ma. God bless you, ma. You are simply amazing.
Thank you.
The next 2 people for KWO book. All right, let me look at the chat again. Wow, I'm loving this anniversary celebration. God bless you, ma. Thank you. I'm loving this anniversary celebration. Lots of freebies happening here. Okay, so after Mojisola will be Lucy Indubisi. You get a copy of KWO book, courtesy of our big auntie for me now. And Henry, finally, Henry gets a copy as well of KWO's book. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. So please drop your details on the chat. If I called your name, I will reach out to you. Henry, thank you. Thank you so much to all our sponsors. God bless you for that. May God continue to increase you. I think one of the principles of wealth and abundance that KWO preaches is giving and sowing. I mean, KWO talks about it regularly, the need for us to give and sow into the lives of other people. Yes. On that, yes, thank you so much. We appreciate you, everyone, for your time. God bless you.
Let's dance, Lara. Let's dance now.